I had a few people ask where the iPhone SE's home button falls on Mohs scale of hardness. To let you know, it does scratch at a level 8. If you're confused as to what I'm talking about, go ahead and hit that link in the upper right corner. Today we're going to replace the screen on the iPhone SE. It is the exact same process as the iPhone 5S. There's 2 pentalobe screws down at the bottom, remove those, and then using a suction cup and a very thin pry tool, pry up on the edge of the screen and the edge of the phone. Make sure not to put any pressure on the glass. Only crack it open a tiny bit and I'll show you why. First thing, there's a little groove here on the frame for your pry tool, makes it a little bit easier. And then there's a little silly ribbon cable attached to the home button that plugs into the board down by the charging port. I'll show you how to deal with that. There's a little metal flap down here at the bottom that you lift up. If you lose this little metal flap, I will link replacement parts down in the video description. Same thing with the tools that you'll need. Then you can unsnap that little ribbon from the main board. There are 6 screws that you're going to remove from the phone, 2 down here by the battery. We're going to disconnect that before we remove the screen, just so there's no power going through it. Then we're going to remove the top metal plate, and then there's 3 ribbon cables that we're going to unsnap from the main board. These are very similar to the Legos. We're just going to pop those off with a plastic pry tool. This top ribbon cable is for the camera, so you don't need to worry about that. There's 2 screws that hold down the earpiece. There's a little side latch that also holds it in place. Set those off to the side and make sure to keep your screws organized. They are different sizes and you don't want to put them in the wrong spot. Down here by the home button there is a little metal doohickey. Make sure you don't lose that. There's 2 more screws by the metal plate. Pull that away and set that next to the screws. I usually press the home button out through the back side, making sure not to tear any of the ribbon cables. It is very fragile, so be careful. Separate the glue from the back frame instead of just pulling up on the wire itself. There's 2 screws here at the side, 1 at the top, and then another 2 screws on the other side of the screen that's going to remove the back metal plate. And then there's the front camera and sensors. I'm going to leave those taped to the back metal plate because I'm going to transfer this over to my new replacement screen. But if you need to pull it off, just be very careful. If the copper sticker rips, you can just stick it back together, copper touching copper, and everything will be fine. So this is the screen component. We have the LCD and we have the glass and we have the frame. It's all sold as one unit, and this is the easiest way to replace the screen on your iPhone. Now, if you want to attempt a glass-only repair, I strongly suggest you do not, but it is possible. Go ahead and click the link in the upper corner to see how that is done. Let's reassemble the screen. We're going to put the back metal plate into place. Set the front sensors and camera into place. Then you can see these little springs that just touch the contact points on the earpiece. We're going to rest those on top of each other and then set the bracket over the earpiece and screw it into place with those 2 screws. It should fit easily. There should be nothing sticking up. 1 more screw at the top of the top plate, and then we're going to put the home button back in. Has the back metal bracket, set that into place. Then this tiny screw screws into the back plate. Make sure the little doohickey is facing up. You don't want that pinched down underneath the little ribbon cable. Get the back plate screwed in with the 2 screws on either side, and then we're going to plug in the screen. There's the 3 ribbon cables. Once those 3 ribbon cables are in, we're going to plug in the battery, and before putting the metal plates on, we're going to test and see if the screen works. It should function as normal right now. If there are lines or if your screen is gray, there's a good chance that the ribbon cables do not have a good connection with the main board. So disconnect the battery, pop off those cables, reseat them, and try again. If it's still not working, there's a chance you got a bad replacement screen. Mine is working fine, so I'm going to go ahead and set those metal plates back into place and screw them in. Now I'm going to reseat the top of the phone into the frame, and this will keep it stable while we're working on the silly little ribbon cable down here at the bottom. You're going to hate this thing. What I show here in just a few seconds is actually much more difficult in real life. I'm going to seat the ribbon cable right above its connector on the charging port and snap it down just like a little Lego. And then this is a bad angle, but you can see the little metal part. I put the top end first towards the top of the phone and then snap in the bottom part after I line it up with the edge of the groove. Remember, if you lose these, I will put replacement parts, screens, and itty-bitty metal bits down in the video description. Make sure the top of the screen is seated, and then you can press each side down into the frame body. Turn it on and everything works. Now, I have heard that the iPhone 5S screens are entirely compatible with the iPhone SE. It's pretty much the same phone, just with a faster processor and better camera. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. Get those bottom 2 screws in. Thanks a ton for watching. If I helped you out today with replacing your screen, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It does help me out. Hope to see you around.